Hi, it is Robin from Southern California. And today I'm going to show you the harvest I did of all the tomatillos that we had growing that I hadn't picked already, that I never planted. They come up on their own. So we're going to see now the ones I picked from the wheelbarrow that came up, remember, in the compost I was moving around? And not only that, there was no drainage. It was just growing in the wheelbarrow. Then you're going to see some that were growing in the driveway and another one that was growing in a tote with some different zucchini, cocozelle, and then I had some on the deck. What I'm going to do, you know what, let's go see that and then we'll come back to this, and then I'm going to dry this and freeze this, and I will have this all winter to put in my enchiladas and to put into chili or salsas. So this is what I had here. And look, they're all different sizes. Some of them are really big and some of them are really small off the one plant. Now, why is that? Because when the plant is done, they all turn. Kind of like tomatoes, but tomatoes, if they're too small, they won't turn red sometimes. This will. So when they're done, they're done. And then they get their color. And now I'm going to bring them in. I'm going to get rid of the rest of the outside casing in the house. I'm going to freeze them. If I find any more, oh, wait, there is more here. Here's another one. Okay. So if I find any more as I'm working, then I'll just put them in my pocket and bring them in later. But right now, I'm going to get these in and freeze them and collect whatever else I have around the yard. Because sometimes you can't tell. You know, you don't see them. They kind of hide. And the ones that hide are the ones that grow later. And that's wonderful because remember, I didn't plant this. Look at this. A piece of geranium fell in here, is growing. Isn't this something? We've got a sow thistle coming up here. I don't need that. And some, weeds got in there, some sort of grass seed. And then the geranium. So that's it for now. And now I can use my wheelbarrow again. So now I've got tomatillos here. I'm going to collect all those. I've got some back there. And today is hunting for tomatillos. Now I put a bunch in here. Let me see what's laying around. Now let me tell you about tomatillos. If you stick them somewhere or they fall somewhere, they will sit here for months until they break down. See how they're still nice? They look dirty and like they're no good, but they are perfectly fine. They'll sit there and then in the spring, they'll just kind of break down and go into the soil. And then as soon as the weather gets really warm, they'll grow. And that's how they end up in places. Another thing is, birds may be picking at them once they're in the soil, and then they'll poop them out somewhere, and that's why you'll find tomatillos growing just about everywhere. I think I've got all the ones that were anymore that were here. I'm going to keep going and hunting for tomatillos. Now I thought I had some tomatillos here. It's possible I picked them already. So if I lost any in there, they'll come up next year. I don't see any more here. I picked the ones that were in the wheelbarrow over there. I'm going to freeze those. I'm going to keep some off to the side so I can toss them around later on for growing. And I think down here, there's some more. So here's the ones from the driveway. And I'll look around and see if there's any on the ground. And these obviously are purple. You can see through. They're purple, a little bit green. Sometimes you get some that are part purple, part green. Geez, some of these are not ready yet. Let's see what's ready. Oh my, I have squash. Look at that, cocozelle. Let's see what's in here. Oh, that's ready. Another one down there, that's ready. Look at that, squash growing. Almost winter. Okay. It's warm up against the wall. I'll tell you why this one's growing. Okay, so I'm not going to disturb this too much. Still attached. So some of these are still maturing. Isn't that cool? We've got a lip around the tote, so it's protecting up from wind. We have it here up against the wall, and that creates heat. And the other thing, the last thing, is it's got the sunniest spot in the whole garden or the whole yard. So it's got sun from very early in the morning. See how the sun comes up? And then the sun is there right now. And then until it reaches there. So this has got enough sun to maybe keep it growing, even though we're not warm enough, obviously this is keeping everything warm enough for it to try. So it looks like I'm going to have a little bit of Cocozelle in there. All right, we'll come back another time for the rest of them, because this plant is still green. Yep, it's still green. So we'll let this one finish. I'll go get the other ones that I just collected and see how many we've got. I'm looking to see if there's any on the ground. If they fell into the bucket, I'm not going to worry about that. Yeah, just, oh, there's one. Look at that. Sitting in a bucket, I don't know for how long, and they're still plump and hard. They're designed to stay in there until spring. And then come spring and the weather warms, that's when they break into the ground, break loose the seeds, and then they grow. I'm looking to see. There was some here. Oh, there is one. Oh, they are. Oh, nuts. It just rolled off. I don't know if I want to climb in here. For one, there's one down there. This has been dry for a while. See how the outer skin is dry, but look at that inside is still beautiful, because this plant, this fruit is designed to stay like this for months. I might have collected a lot of these already, but see, this plant's died back. Oh, there's one. And I see another one in there. Nothing eats them, which is really good. Birds don't eat them. Nothing eats them. There's probably more back there, but any of them that I left, they'll just grow. Oh, no, that's not one. Okay, so we got a few more from this one. The tomatillo plant that was growing in the front, they're green. All green. I'll grab those too. I've been picking those, so there's not going to be that many because I've been using them. Looking to see if there's any more around. No, I don't think so. And the rest of the plant is just an old tomato plant. Okay, I'll get these washed and frozen. Cool. And I'll keep some to grow later on in the spring, because these are the ones that have been growing here and I don't plant them. I haven't planted them in years. So I like the purples. I'll keep the purples. So now I had a tomatillo plant come up in my dish pan on the deck. So here I'm picking whatever ones are left, because I've been using these since they're close by. So whenever I want some, I can run out there and grab them. Plus, as they're falling off, I've been just stuffing them in there. These are purple. I'm going to plant the purple ones around in the spring, and I'll keep a couple of them, like I said, just wrapped in their little gift wrapping package, because it really does protect the tomatillo so it doesn't break down. And then in the spring, it'll break down and grow. Some of the seeds, as they break into the soil, I have found that the birds may nibble on those, but they don't touch the fruit itself, which is really cool. That's why you end up with tomatillos all over, because the birds eat the tiny seeds and then they grow. And there, look at that. Flowers are starting to grow on it again. I'm not sure what's going on with this. I can cater to it for a while, but we'll see. I don't know if it's really going to grow anymore. Now let's go get them all cleaned up and see what I ended up with in one day. So as you know, for the past few weeks, I've been collecting as I need them. But now, going into winter, I want to get them all washed up and in the freezer so I have them all winter to use. Just want to get them all peeled and washed and frozen. So I hope you enjoyed this. These are almost dry. As soon as they're dry, I'm just going to pop them in a plastic bag. Sometimes I dry them, put them on a tray, and then freeze them. But as long as they're dried really well, you can just throw them in a big Ziploc bag and throw them in the freezer. I'm going to put a few of them off to the side and leave them for the winter. And come spring, I'll find some places for them. I can either put them out whole or slice them up, and they'll come up again when the weather turns warm. So I hope you enjoyed this. This is how I grow my tomatillos. I don't buy any seeds. And some of them have hybridized, because we had green ones years ago and purple, and that's okay. Cost me nothing. It's a surprise in the garden, and you never know where they're going to come up and grow fantastic. Once the whole truck bed was covered with them. With that, have a wonderful day. And don't forget to eat what you grow. And if I wanted to, I could take them out of the freezer later, cut them up. The seeds should still be fine from the freezer. Or like I said, I could wash them and save the seeds that way. But I'm too lazy. I just leave them this way. They'll dry up, and then I'll just throw them out in the spring. Hey, bye-bye. What are you doing? Don't forget to eat what you grow. Bye-bye. These are so beautiful. Look at that color.